What are your thoughts about people who treat their children as like babies? And what I mean by that is talking down to them like they're not this like intelligent human. I have a really hard time not talking to my kids like they're a human being, like they are on the way to becoming an adult. Even the way I communicate to them, I'm like, I'm like, well, you're a human. You can do something. Oh, what do you think about this? But I know a lot of parents that are like, hey, what do you think? Do you want to like, they kind of like talk it down to their kids because I think a lot of the reasons it's just like a socially normal thing to like baby your kids. But I feel like that really holds back on allowing them to, like you're saying, think for themselves and have to come to situations on themselves. And I think it really impacts people from if you treat them like they are a baby within like the pre-teen and younger like ages. I think that really impacts like mental development versus treating them like they're this smart, dynamic human being that, yeah, maybe doesn't know a whole lot and is like learning, but you're like willing to talk to them as if they are learning.
I've wondered about this question a lot with if a child shows the capability, should you give them the responsibility?
Yeah, yeah.
And we generally have, where I remember when our kids were really young and we had a family come visit us and they were so young that they were taking a bath together. And I said, okay, now wash your hair. And the other family, the couple looked at me like they can wash their own hair.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, no problem. They can. So they do. And so we've given them daily chores that teach them responsibility and show that they can do that. They can cook even last night, Adam cooked taco salad for us.
And how old's Adam?
He's 7. He did burn the bottom of the meat.
A little nice char.
He had to go chop the lettuce, and I was like, well, you can't ignore the food.
But he's 7 years old and he's cooking dinner.
Yeah, for 5 people. And all of them are like that. We started with HelloFresh, and they've cooked hundreds of meals now. Each of them have cooked at least 50.
Wow.
But there was something I was going to say about this of, oh yeah, I had this phrase that I'm not raising children. I'm raising adults.
Oh my God, that's powerful.
And whenever I think about it that way, I speak to my kids the same way you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because if I want to raise children, then I would speak to them like children. If I want to raise adults, then I speak to them like adults. And so I've always tried to do that.
Oh my God, I love that. Like
I've wondered.
I got chills from that.
I've actually wondered if it's not great because I thought of that from my authoritarian place.
Okay. I've actually thought about this too. Like, can you, if you are like being too much like treating them like adults and making them responsibility and having to be independent, are they potentially lacking like the emotional comfort that comes with being a kid?
Are you robbing them of their childhood?
Yeah. And I do think it's a balance because I do think it's really important to emotionally comfort your kids. And I think that kind of motivates them on why the confidence on how they can approach things. Like you kind of do both. You have to, one, teach them intellectually and how to like process and how to like think things for themselves. But then the other one is also helping comfort your kids into believing in themselves and help them feel safe from those difficult experiences, or helping them learn how to teach themselves how to feel safe. And so you kind of have to do a balance of both where, yeah, if you're just only making your kids having to do things, they might feel like emotionally lonely because they're constantly just having to be like this deal with responsibilities, which yes, is really helpful for them as they become adults, but they might be lacking more of emotional stability and safety and comfort, which is equally important when you go into an adult. Otherwise I don't know. I was going to say maybe that leads to more anxiety, but if you're confident in yourself on how to approach things, maybe not. So I don't know. It's like a weird balance, I think, though. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Your question is, how do you balance raising adults versus the emotional needs of a child?
Yeah, my questions are not as refined as that. It's usually this giant like explanation of what I'm trying to like discuss. But yes, that's a good way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess the way I think of it is just to be a little bit of padding around them where you want them to have a very real experience But whenever it's too much, you can be that cushion for them and say, oh, yeah, that was too much for you. That person said that really hurtful thing. Let me help you process those emotions. I guess that's the difference of putting them out there, but supporting them when they need it. And I feel like what a lot of parents are doing is, or not doing, they're not putting their kid out there to experience anything so that they avoid that emotional discomfort. Where I think let's put them out there. It's more real. It's more what life is going to be like. They're going to be better prepared later.
Yeah.
If we can let them get knocked around a little bit and we tend to their wounds, help them deal with them.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree from my perspective too. And it's so hard being a parent because no one, I don't think anyone wants their kids to be hurt. Like you don't want your kids to be like in pain, whether physically or like emotionally, but that like suffering kind of leads to more like strength and more like happiness, honestly.